We now know that almost $2 billion payment to Iran earlier this year by the Obama administration was in cash. What we do not know is why it took so long for the president's people to say so. Tonight from the State Department, Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen has an update to a story he first brought you last month.
We have nothing to be ashamed about.
For the first time, State Department spokesman Mark Toner acknowledged that the U.S. used 3 separate cash payments, each in hard foreign currency, to settle a dispute with Iran over frozen Iranian assets worth a total, including interest, of $1.7 billion. For weeks, the Obama administration would only confirm in response to a pair of Wall Street Journal reports that the initial payment of $400 million had been made in cash and was timed deliberately to help complete a deal for the release of American hostages, an arrangement many deem ransom. While claiming the administration has been completely forthright all along, Toner also acknowledged having released key details only in a, quote, piecemeal manner.
If we operate sometimes out of an overabundance of caution, it's for good reason.
It was from a Treasury Department account called the Judgment Fund that the disbursements were drawn on the State Department's behalf. The fund's website shows 13 withdrawals on January 19, adding up to the $1.3 billion in interest. But the website also shows a 14th withdrawal on the same date for another $10.4 million attached to the same case file number as the others. It brought the U.S. well over the announced $1.7 billion settlement figure.
So what is this other $10.4 million?
I'll have to look into that as well, James.
Nor could states say whether the payments met legal requirements. Federal regulations governing the use of the Judgment Fund are explicit. Pursuant to 31 CFR Part 208, Judgment Fund payments are to be made by electronic funds transfer, EFT. Fiscal Service will issue an electronic payment to the payee's account. If a submitting agency determines that a waiver in accordance with 31 CFR Part 208 to the requirement for payment by EFT is appropriate, Fiscal Service will issue a payment by check.
Were any such waivers sought in this case?
I'll have to take the question. I don't have an answer. I would assume so.
The chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee accused the administration of circumventing the law.
I think this is really one of the biggest scandals to launder money to Iran in exchange for hostages. From my perspective as Homeland Security Chair, that's going to go to fund the Quds Force operations, which have killed hundreds of Americans in Iraq, and Hezbollah operations around the world.
A number of GOP lawmakers led by Marco Rubio in the Senate and Mike Pompeo in the House have co-sponsored legislation aimed at barring the U.S. from making similar payments to Iran in the future until such time as the Islamic regime makes good on an estimated $53 billion in outstanding judgments owed to American victims of the 1983 bombing of our Marine barracks in Lebanon and other acts of terrorism for which U.S. courts have deemed Iran to be liable. Brett?
James Rosen live at the State Department. James, thank you.